thank you both for joining us on stage during this period of transition. The question really for you, Jeff, is what made you decide now was the time?
Well, timing for something like this is always a combination of factors. There are personal factors that have to do with me and what I think is best for me, but there are also even more important factors around the business and whether the business is well positioned for a transition like this and whether we've got the right people in place running all of our brands and the right candidate to take over the job. And I think the timing was right for all of those things. And as the quote said, I think Darren is the right choice to lead the group going forward, and I think it's going to be great. When you announce something like this, the wheels start to turn straight away, which is appropriate, and it gives us an opportunity to start to have people focus on working with Darren rather than me at a time when I'm still there to be a fly on the wall and maybe give some advice here and there.
It's interesting, I find at work, people are asking me, you know, can we do this, can we buy that? And I keep thinking, well, I've got to go ask Jeff. And then they're like, aren't you making that decision now? So a lot of things like that, just mentally transitioning into the role is happening.
So next year, are you going to still say, I want to ask Jeff, because Jeff, you will be chairman.
That's right.
So, you know, how much will you be pulling back and how involved will you be with the business?
So I'll be non-executive chairman, which means I won't have my office in Norwalk anymore. That'll be Darren's office for when he's in Norwalk. I've told Darren and the board I'm available to help in any way that I can, and my guess is it'll be more advisory.
So obviously you both share similar philosophies, but you must have different styles.
You know, I think, first of all, I think one of the primary things that I have to achieve in the first few months and quarters is about staying the course. I mean, the formula that we have for winning works. We have 5 independent brands. And each of the brand CEOs has more of an impact on how they shape the culture of their individual businesses than the group CEO has ever had. The group CEO role has always been really about how do we get these crazy characters to share a little bit, share best practice in areas like mobile, share best practices in areas like PPC buying, things like that. So I'll have a role there, but I'm still very much going to lead the company in the way it's been led. It's certainly consistent with my philosophy. I will have the role of both the group CEO as well as the CEO of Booking.com. At Booking, we've got an amazing leadership team of very entrepreneurial people, some who've had many years of experience with the company. And I feel really good that they can lead the day-to-day operations, and I can give them a little bit of strategic guidance on the way the company's going. And then the other role I'll play really at the group level on helping the brands move forward and interacting with Jeff and the board.
Booking.com is at the center of a lot of the information sharing and work that our brands do together to share best practices. It was logical for Darren to do that as CEO of Booking.com, and it's even more logical that he'll continue to be overseeing that personally as Group CEO.
So obviously the question, and this has been asked throughout the conference, is what's next?
I think Jeff has certainly done an amazing job writing the first chapters of this novel, but there's a lot more to be written. You know, Dara talked about the trillion-dollar industry that we all participate in. The ocean is very wide and hopefully becomes much more blue in both a Priceline and a Booking sense. And yeah, and we just see, you know, what I see is just tremendous potential.
You know, Booking.com has done a tremendous job building its business in Western Europe, but it's still pretty early days in the new markets for Booking.com, and there's great opportunity in Asia Pacific, in Latin America, and in North America, where the brand is getting some nice traction, even in such a crowded and mature market as North America. Then if you look at our other brands, rentalcars.com, still in very early days of its global expansion in a market that's, in our opinion, quite wide open. For Kayak, great brand here in the United States, but plenty of opportunity to build the brand internationally. And Agoda and Priceline.com have been enormously successful building their brands in their particular regions, but have actually done very little outside of Asia Pacific for Agoda and outside North America for Priceline.com. And both of those businesses have very different product offerings from Booking.com and can absolutely be on the shelf side by side, and I think have an opportunity to pick some markets and maybe see what they can do in those markets.
But what will keep you up at night while Jeff is, I don't know, what will you be doing?
I mostly think about what we can control. And I constantly, when teams ask me, well, what about Google, what about this, what about that? I just say, you know, if we lose this, it won't be because of any of that. I mean, that's what history has shown. It'll be because, you know, the biggest issue we have, we've been winning for a long time, and you can get lazy. And you can sit back and think that everything you do is so amazing, and that's why you're winning. And in fact, it's not the case. There's a lot of things we don't do well. So how do you continue that culture of being paranoid but being optimistic, that kind of weird balance you need to have, and constantly telling the teams every day that you work hard and get ahead, it's a good day. You know, we don't use a lot of PowerPoint. We don't strategize and have long discussions about these things. It's we go out and we do our jobs, and it's honestly the thing I worry about. When I come in the morning, it's the thing I think about and worry about the most. And that's not just a Booking.com statement, but it's really about the group overall. And I know the other brand CEOs would likely say the same things if they were sitting here.
Doug, I'd just throw something in there that if you take a historical view of our industry, that totally supports Darren's philosophy on this, which is that this is an execution game. And you can see all of the brands that have operated successfully in our space go through periods where they've been highly successful and not so successful. And it's not because of some strategic whiff. It's because it's about execution. And when companies in our space execute well, they have high rates of growth. If they don't execute well, not so much.
Well, Jeff.